Pikmin 1 has its fair share of deadly enemies. Enemies like the Wollywog, Bulbear, and Emperor Bulblats can make this game a nightmare to play. But there's only one enemy in this game that's more deadly than all the rest. One enemy that can wipe out your entire squad in a matter of seconds. If you've played this game, you'll know exactly who I'm talking about. The Smoky Progg. Now, this enemy is so deadly that there's only one of them in the entire game. Because frankly, having more than one would be absolutely insane.
Is there even— oh, it's the one pellet posy, that's why, it's the one— what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know what kind of psycho would put more than one Smoky Progg in this game.
Oh my god, the Pikmin fear. Why are you bringing it that way? The ship is the other direction! No, I can't deal with that.
Guys, I may have done something terrible. I turned every enemy into a Smoky Progg.
Just run, boys, just run.
Oh! Guys, me and Patricia are getting married. Please like this video to show your support and let us know where you think we should have our honeymoon. Oh yeah, and stay tuned after the video for the very first Pikmin Hunger Games. It's gonna be spicy. So, yeah, every single enemy is a Smoky Progg. Every single one. And not just enemies either. Pellet posies have also been turned into Proggs, which is why on day one I encountered this little surprise.
Yo, the pellets are gone, what the fuck?
Yeah, the pellet posies that are normally there had turned into two Smoky Proggs. The only ones that remained were the ones up here and the 5 pellet over here, which is a problem because we need 10 Pikmin to move this box so we can grab the engine. But since we only have a single red Pikmin, it means we can only grab 1 pellet, which will only grant us 2 more Pikmin, which would not be enough to actually grab the 5 pellet, and since we can't grab the 5 pellet, it means we can't move the bots. But luckily for us, when a Smoky Progg dies, they drop a golden pearl. These pearls will normally sprout you 100 Pikmin. Now, in this mod, they're nerfed, so they'll only give out 50, but still, 50 Pikmin would be huge for us, especially on day 1. The only problem is, to actually get one, we're gonna have to kill a Smoky Progg with only 1 Pikmin, and if we're lucky, maybe 3. Because actually getting this 1 pellet back to the onion with 2 Smoky Proggs guarding it is almost impossible. If you didn't know, for some reason, Smoky Proggs are attracted to onions. As soon as they spawn, they will make a beeline straight for the closest onion, and then just kinda sit there. Which is exactly what these two do. To make matters worse, they aren't interested in Olimar at all. For some reason, they are only interested in Pikmin. So, you can't even use Olimar to distract them while the Pikmin brings the pellet back to the onion. And even if you do get it back, this cutscene that shows the Pikmin sprouting from the onion completely screws you. For some reason, the Proggs can still move while this cutscene is playing, so while you're frozen in place, they can just murder your Pikmin and you can't do anything about it.
Like, fuck you! Fuck you, I can't move! I can't move!
Oh, and did I mention that you need 3 Pikmin to bring back the Golden Pearl in the first place? So, if you lose even 1, it's game over and you have to try again. Which is exactly why I tried to kill them with only a single Pikmin. But, as you can imagine, this is extremely slow. And if you make even 1 mistake, it's instantly over. After trying this a bunch and failing, I moved on to my next idea, which was to just beat the crap out of them with Olimar. There are some enemies in this game that can be killed just by punching them with Olimar. But the Smoky Progg is not one of them. The Smoky Progg takes 0 damage from Olimar at all. But guess what? The Smoky Progg can kill us in only 3 hits. so we can't damage them at all, but they can kill us in a matter of seconds. Isn't that awesome? My next genius plan was to grow 2 Pikmin with the 1 pellet, quickly put them in the onion, then have one of the Proggs kill Olimar so we could end the day. You normally can't end the day on day 1 without collecting the engine, but by killing Olimar like this, we're able to get around that. The plan was to come back on day 2 and hope to God there was enough pellets to grow some more Pikmin and move the bots. And there was, but there was also double the amount of Smoky Proggs as well. So day 2 was a complete no-go, which left me with no other option. I had to grow those 2 Pikmin and kill those fucking Proggs, which legitimately took forever. Seriously, videos like this do a poor job of portraying to the viewer just how long things take, but if you were there for the stream, you'll know how long it took. It took us over an hour just to kill the first Progg.
Please, just fucking die. Nobody loves you. Yes. Thank God. Okay. One's done.
But that wasn't even the end of the battle, because we still had another Smoky Progg that was still alive, and we had to get that golden pearl back to the onion.
Just bring it. I don't care if you all die! Yes! Oh my god, I can't believe that worked.
After that, we plucked our Pikmin, killed the second Progg, got even more Pikmin, then finally moved the bots and brought the engine back to the ship. Ending off maybe one of the hardest day 1s in Pikmin history. But it wasn't over yet, not even close. Because what was waiting for us on day 2 was maybe one of the worst things I've ever seen in a Pikmin game.
Is there even... Oh, it's the 1 pellet posy, that's why. It's the one... What the fuck? Wait, did he say... What? 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 What?
Waiting for me outside the gates of the Forest of Hope was a literal army of Smoky Proggs. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Upon seeing this, I immediately thought something was wrong. The mod that I'm playing this on, Pikmin², has the ability to turn all plant life into enemies, which is what I thought happened here, because there is no way there are this many enemies in the Forest of Hope. Like, look at this. This is insane. But after talking to the creator of this Smoky Progg mod, ZachThePillow, he assured me that everything was working as intended. This is working as intended, Zach? But he was right. It was working as intended. There was this many enemies in the Forest of Hope. At least if you count the pellet posies as well, which for some reason are categorized as enemies in this game. So we had no other choice but to push forward. We had to somehow take on this army of Smoky Proggs knocking at our gate. It wasn't gonna be easy. And yeah, it wasn't at all. Even just killing the 1 Smoky Progg in the base so I could break down the wall was a challenge. Mainly because this could happen.
Ah. Oh my god, no! They can break in! Ah! No!
Yeah, Smoky Proggs are one of the few enemies in the game that can basically go anywhere and climb anything. So, what at first was a very doable 1v1 quickly turned into a very not doable 1v4, which caused me to restart a bunch of times. But eventually, I learned if I stayed away from where all the Proggs were located, they would just kind of stay idle and not actually climb over the walls, which allowed me to kill the single Progg located in the base, grow some more Pikmin, and get ready to unleash the floodgates.
Alright, here we go! Oh my god! We've unleashed the beast, alright.
Thankfully, it was actually pretty easy getting around them, and we made our way to the yellow onion. But as soon as we got there, I realized that we had a major problem. Even though the Proggs weren't bothering us anymore, they were still back at our base. So actually getting ship parts would be easy, but getting them back to the ship was gonna be impossible. We would somehow have to bring them through an army of Smoky Proggs, which just wasn't gonna happen. But then, me and chat came up with another idea. We were gonna turn our yellow Pikmin into suicide bombers.
Okay, that's actually not bad, dude. That's not bad. That's not bad.
Now, this did do decent damage, but it had an unintended consequence that was far more helpful than I could have ever imagined.
Oh, they're probably going over to the yellow onion. They're getting... Oh, guys. Can we bake them all out to the yellow onion?
Now, to understand what's going on here, we need to talk about Smoky Progg some more. Before I started this challenge, I had always assumed that Smoky Proggs were programmed to run straight for your base, which is kind of true, but at the same time, it isn't. They are programmed to head straight for onions, even if that onion isn't at the base yet. Now, the reason I, and probably most of you watching, didn't know this, is because the Smoky Progg only spawns in the distant spring, which happens to be one of the last levels in the game, which means the player has most likely already found all of the onions. But we were still in the Forest of Hope, and had just activated the yellow onion, which meant the Proggs now had two places to go, back to our base, and to the yellow onion on the other side of the level. So, one by one, I lured them out of the base and towards the yellow onion, giving us a clear shot to the ship so we could start collecting ship parts. And that's exactly what I did. I grabbed the Eternal Fuel Dynamo, the Whimsical Radar, Shock Absorber, Nova Blaster, blew up this wall with yellows, killed this Cannon Beetle, which suspiciously looked like a Smoky Progg, and grabbed the Radiation Canopy. Then I took some reds for a swim, and built this bridge so I could grab the Sagittarius, ending off the day with 6 parts collected. If you're wondering how it was possible to collect so many parts in a single day, it's because ZachThePillow, the creator of the mod, increased how long each day was. While doing some testing, he basically concluded that it would be almost impossible to beat this with regular day timers, so he graciously gave us some extra time, which we obviously took advantage of on day 2. But don't get too comfortable, because day 3 is coming up, and day 3 was kind of insane.
In heaven. Just run, boys, just run. Oh my god.
We had just bared witness to the Great Smoky Progg Migration of 2025, where dozens and dozens of Smoky Proggs crawled out from whatever hole they came from and descended upon our base. After it was over and the dust had settled, this is what our base looked like. Completely overrun by Proggs. Luckily for us though, just like in the Forest of Hope, the Forest Naval had an onion we hadn't discovered yet. So we could take full advantage of the exact same exploit and herd all of the Smoky Proggs away from our base and to the blue onion. But before I did that, I went around the Forest Naval and gathered up as many ship parts as I could. Which was super easy because there was no enemies, because all the enemies were Smoky Proggs, and they were all in our base. Well, all of them except for one. The Smoky Progg who replaced BD Longlights. He was trapped behind this wall, so he couldn't join his brethren in the Great Migration. So we broke down his wall, killed him, and then used his pearl to grow a bunch of blues, which helped us collect some more parts. In the end, I was able to bring 6 ship parts right beside the base. All I had left to do was to herd all the Smoky Proggs over to the Blue Onion and bring the parts back to the ship. Which I almost did, but then this guy had other plans for me.
Oh my god, boys, go. Get as many parts as you can. Go, go, go! Oh my god, this guy!
Yeah, for some reason, he just decided to troll me. So I paid him back by ending his life. Anyways, we ended up collecting all 6 ship parts, which unlocked the distant spring for us. But instead of heading to the distant spring, I decided to go to the impact site. Which was kind of a mistake, because when we landed there, we made a discovery that shook the foundations of this very run.
Yeah, I mean, we've been going pretty slow, dude. Excuse me? Where are the bombs?
The bombs that are normally hidden in the bots were missing. And unfortunately for us, these are the only bombs in the impact site. And you need these bombs to blow down this wall so you can get the positron generator. Without blowing down this wall, there really isn't a good way to get Olimar on the other side of the map. You can clip out of bounds in the original game to get over there, but since we're playing Pikmin², this isn't really an option. The lie down mechanic is based on Pikmin 2's 5-man knapsack, so nudging parts doesn't work the same as it did in the original game. So we really had nowhere left to go. I was completely out of ideas. So I just left the impact site and headed to the distant spring, hoping that at some point, me or my chat could come up with an idea to actually get the part. But as of right now, the challenge was in serious danger, and we really couldn't change that. Something else we couldn't change is how the Smoky Proggs reacted in the distant spring. They reacted the exact same way as every other level. They gathered around our base and made it impossible to get back to the ship. But the distant spring was different than the other levels. The distant spring didn't have an extra onion we could just herd the prods over to. We were gonna have to find a different way to get rid of these things, and I had no idea what that way was gonna be. At first, I tried getting them stuck in this little hallway leading to the second half of the level, and then throwing a Pikmin in front of them so they would constantly try and get it. But I realized as soon as the first one got stuck, that I wouldn't be able to fit back through, so I couldn't really lure the rest of them in. Then, as I was thinking of other methods to try, I remembered something that happened earlier on in the day. As I was trying to lure these two prods away from this bridge, they ended up following me into the water and randomly started circling around. I have no idea why or what happened, but for some reason, they just wouldn't leave the water. So I decided to try it with some more to see if this was actually legit or if it was just a random fluke. And guess what? It worked. For some reason, when the prods entered this water, their pathing would completely break and they would just slam their heads into one another, creating a giant Smoky Progg mosh pit. So just like in the Force of Hope and Force Enable, I was able to collect a bunch of parts while the Smoky Proggs were off doing other things. The only parts I wasn't able to collect were the bowsprit and the interstellar radio. Mainly because the interstellar radio was here, in this giant clusterfuck of progs. And the bowsprit was here, in this slightly smaller clusterfuck. The reason they were inside the prods was because the interstellar radio is normally inside a blowhog, and the bowsprit is normally inside a cannon beetle, which were now Smoky Proggs. Now, the interstellar radio was completely off limits to us, obviously, but if we could break down this wall and then separate the prog holding the bowsprit from the other ones, we might have a chance to get that part at least. Luckily though, we didn't even have to do that.
The interstellar radio and the other one oh shit! Oh shit, this guy is the one with the part! Oh shit!
By some random chance, the Smoky Progg carrying the bowsprit separated from the herd and fell onto this stump. So all we had to do was throw a couple bombs up there and kill him.
That was fucking horrible, what? Okay, it worked.
Granting us the bowsprit super easily, which was really surprising. So after our fun little adventure in the distant spring, we headed back to the impact site. Hoping to God the first time we landed there was just a fluke and the bombs would actually spawn this time.
We gotta see if we got bombs, baby. It doesn't look like we do, though. I think the bombs, like, got removed, man. How the fuck does that happen?
The bombs weren't there. Now, it is true that you don't need every ship part in Pikmin 1 to beat the game, but the positron generator is one of the parts we do need. And it was locked behind the stone wall, out of our reach. So, in complete desperation, I walked by the wall one last time to see if there was anything at all I could do.
Wait, we don't even need... we don't even need bombs! We don't even need bombs!
I was thinking about this problem, like the positron generator was still in the clam, but it wasn't. It was in a Smoky Progg. The Progg right here that was behind this gate. All we had to do was break this gate down and the Progg would come rushing into the base, bringing the part to us.
Throw a Pikmin into the end of the... Oh, I was reading chat. How the fuck did they... Fuck! They got over the wall? Ah!
But this was not the end of our problems. This was just the beginning. Because getting this damn part to the ship with 6 Smoky Proggs just chilling beside us was almost impossible.
Oh my god, the Pikmin fear. Why are you bringing it that way? The ship is the other direction! What am I supposed to do here? Please, why? Why are we taking it that way? Please, leave them alone, man. Please, leave me alone. I'm going to lose my mind! Oh, kill him! God damn it, man! Just tapping out. Oh my god. That's a positron generator, baby!
Eventually, I smartened up and killed the Progg by the ship, which made things a whole lot easier. But I cannot stress to you enough how annoying this was. Even just killing the thing in the first place was so hard. I kept trying to break it away from the pack to kill it one-on-one, but every single time, another Progg would tag along just to troll me. The AI on these things is so much smarter than a regular enemy, so actually splitting them up is a lot harder than you'd think. And I know, we just saw a whole bunch of them have a giant orgy in the middle of a lake, but trust me, they are actually kind of smart. And this was just a taste of things to come. If I struggled that much getting a part past 6 of them, how was I ever gonna get a part past all of this? Remember, since we already found the yellow and blue onions, it means we can no longer cheese the Proggs. We can't do what we did on days 2 and 3, because all of the onions are back at our base now. I also didn't know of any spots like the lake in the distant spring where they would all get stuck. So, to obtain the last few parts in the Forest of Hope and Forest Navel, we were gonna have to come up with something new. So, the final 2 parts in the Forest Navel were the Omega Stabilizer and the Space Float. The Omega Stabilizer was normally in the Puff Stool and the Space Float in the Bread Bug. So, we knew both parts would be inside of a Progg. The question was, which ones? Which ones in this massive conga line of Proggs had our parts? And how were we gonna get them out? Well, luckily that part wasn't too bad. We were able to use the map to determine exactly which Proggs had the parts. Then, by throwing our Pikmin on their face, we could separate them from the pack and kill them while they were all alone. But this was the easy part, because shortly after killing him, I realized I didn't even have enough Pikmin to bring the part back. So I had to go back to base and try to get some more.
No!
Yeah, even getting Pikmin out of the onions was impossible. Never mind getting parts back to the ship. Once the area was overrun, it was pretty much impossible to do anything. I did try and lure them over to this wall, with hopes that they would somehow get stuck behind it, but it never seemed to work. They would always just break free somehow. It seemed like luring them away from the base wasn't gonna work here. So, me and chat devised a plan. A plan that was so stupid, it just might work. The plan was to bring the part as close to the ship as we possibly could. End the day, and then bum rush the ship as quickly as possible before the horde descended upon us. So, I ended the day, brought out my Pikmin before the horde came, then executed the plan flawlessly.
Thank you for actually cooperating for once in your life. I don't believe it! I don't believe it! I don't fucking believe it, man. I don't believe it. I can't. I can't believe it. I can't. It's right. It's fucking there. I don't give a shit. It's there. It made it. It made it. Alright, guys. We won.
Yeah, so we had to try again.
Go, you motherfuckers. Go. That guy got confused. He's doing a friggin' lap around the arena. Why are you just sitting there? Why are you just sitting there? No. Block him. Onion, block him. Yes. Yes. Holy shit. Alright, we got one part back. Oh my god.
By the grace of God, we were able to sneak the part past the Proggs and make it back to the ship. I then did the same thing with the space float, which also just barely made it in. Oh yeah, and I forgot, we actually hadn't collected the Ionium Jet yet, so we had to do it with that as well. It was the most brain-dead strat of all time, but somehow it actually worked. Now it was time to head back to the distant spring and collect our final part there. Which was super easy because we just invited the Proggs to a super amazing orgy and they just couldn't turn it down. The only hard part was cutting off the Progg that had the interstellar radio before he joined the orgy. But just like in the Force Naval, it really wasn't too bad. Now, what was bad was getting our final two parts in the Force of Hope. The plan was to use the exact same strategy we used in the Force Naval, but there was one main problem. The Proggs started way closer to the base in the Force of Hope. In the Force Naval, they had the Congo line up this long winding path, but in the Force of Hope, they could all just bum rush into the base. I was able to cut off this Progg holding the Geiger counter, but actually getting the part back was a complete nightmare. I brought it as close to the base as I could, but every time I tried to bring it home, something stupid would happen. Like the Pikmin would run the part straight into a Progg, or just get scared and run around like idiots. What I had to do to get around this was literally land in the morning, move the part like 2 feet, and then end the day. Which at that point, I was finally able to do this.
Can you not be a fucking troll though, please? Oh, just get it in there! Okay, okay. A lot of reds died there. It's probably worth it though, man.
With the Geiger counter now back, we could focus on the Extraordinary Bolt, which honestly was a bit easier. All we had to do was wait for a gap in the Congo line, then rush it with our Pikmin, which allowed them to bring it back to the ship right before getting obliterated. But yeah, with the Extraordinary Bolt now collected, the final trial had opened up for us. And honestly, the final trial was pretty easy. Since there aren't really any enemies or pellet posies in the final trial, there just wasn't a lot of Proggs. I think the only reason there was some at all was because of the fire geysers. For some reason, they count as enemies, I guess. But either way, we completed all the puzzles and killed the Progg imitating as the Emperor Bulblats. All we had left to do was to bring the secret safe back to base, which was going to be difficult because there was still quite a few Proggs there. But luckily, the final trial is stocked full of bombs. So we just need to grab some and blow up those stupid Proggs.
It's great with the documentary style. I love it. It's so funny. I guess we got one.
Thankfully, the next time we tried, it went a lot better, and we were able to clear out the base no problem. Which then allowed us to collect the last part and beat the game.
Especially since the pellets... Oh, my bad. Okay, well we did it, guys! Woo! It's over!
We somehow had collected every ship part in Pikmin 1. While up against seemingly impossible odds. Now that we finished the run, it seemed like it was always a sure thing, but think back to days 1 and 2, and how impossible those days seemed. When I first saw this, I was legitimately thinking of quitting. My first reaction was, this is impossible. We can't do this. But saying something is impossible is just a cop-out. If something is really hard and you can't do it, you're just bad. But if something is impossible and you can't do it, well, then it's not your fault because it's impossible. No one can. But don't do this to yourself. Don't limit yourself with these words. This is impossible. Because it's most likely not true. For fuck's sakes, Super Mario 64 has been beaten without the A button. If you traveled back in time 4 years ago and asked anybody if they thought this was possible, everyone would have said no because it's insane. Hell, this channel has almost hit 100k subscribers. If you asked me if that was going to be possible 4 years ago, I would have said no as well. 4 years ago, we were making videos reviewing levels in Banjo-Kazooie and Mario Sunshine, while getting like 100 views. 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with chronic jaw pain. Jaw pain that a specialist said I would have to live the rest of my life with. Well, I'm happy to report that almost 2 years later, I'm living almost 100% pain-free. Something I fought so hard to achieve. Don't let people set limitations on you. And more importantly, don't set limitations on yourself.
This is the Pikmin Hunger Games, where channel and Patreon members fight it out to see who will be the last remaining Pikmin. Basically, it's real simple. We're gonna be running through this floor, and the last Pikmin remaining will be the winner. Okay, well, let's start it off and see what happens. There's a lot going on this floor. There's a lot of bombs. Oh, we might. Oh, okay, no, he's alive. He's alive. He's good. I thought he got caught there. Oh, we're gonna have some deaths here, though, for sure. Oh, they're attacking the spider. They are so dead. Looks like our single yellow Pikmin went down. Oh boy, and we're kind of sandwiched here. We're kind of sandwiched. Run, boys! Oh, there's some deaths. Oh, that was a lot. We're already down to 61. There's definitely some bombs falling. You know what? Let's just throw a couple Pikmin in there and see who dies. Oh, one went right off the edge. Oh my god! This guy survived somehow? That's incredible. Well, let's keep going. Oh, we have a spider. We got a bomb spider. Uh-oh. 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 Oh, run, boys! Oh, they have been sacrificed. I'm so sorry. Rest in peace. Down to 32. Oh, Ryan Levin died. Tragic. Looks like we still got Fade Dragon Lucy. I see, Fossil General Joshers in there. There's gonna be some more deaths here, though. Run! Koi 13, no! Only a couple died there. That's incredible. We need more death! We need more death! Oh, that was a lot. Puddles Megan, no! Alright, we have 2 left. How are we going to determine the winner here? I think the only fair way to do it is go to the top and throw one off. It's going to be random. It's going to be random who it is. I'm going to close my eyes and just press the A button, and whatever happens, happens. Did he die? He didn't die! Oh my god! He didn't die. You know what? That's a sign from God. Brayden, you are the winner. I'm so sorry, Black! Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Brayden is the winner of the first Pikmin Hunger Games. Congratulations, Brayden.
This video was made possible through the support of our amazing patrons. I want to give a special shout out to Rebecca Lyons, Lay Burb, Puddles Megan, Liam Helt, Nice Gamer Musics, Serena Bliss, TXCS_14. Blue Pikmin is the best Pikmin, and if you say otherwise, then Movie will eat your soul. Also, this is a completely real name. And Koi 13.